So the other one that I think that one should be able to do at 40 is know how to travel.
Yes. I don't even have that one on my list.
I mean, like, I'm not in the market, and I know the dating game is shit, but there's no way if I was in the market, and I hear so often that these women are meeting men that never left the country.
Or never even left the town.
Or not even left the block. You live in New York, and you ain't never been to Manhattan. What's up, son? Welcome to another wonderful episode of Not Your Average Aunties. We love coming to you guys and having these types of conversations.
Yes.
You know, it's like having conversations amongst ourselves like you normally would do, but just bringing you in, reeling you in. We love it. We love it. And we are very appreciative that you guys are tuning in and you're liking it too. And you're showing your love by subscribing and viewing and all the stuff. We'd love for you to continue to like, share, because that only helps to spread the love for more folks to enjoy in this lovely conversation that we have.
Yes. I would agree.
Yes. What are we talking about today? Well, first, oops. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you out there, viewers.
Yes, thank you.
And whatever you choose to sip on.
Pinot Grigio over here.
Yes.
It's pretty tasty.
I would have to say I have had better, but it's not bad.
Okay.
So no more menage a trois.
I never really was a fan of the brand, but it's alright.
Okay.
Don't listen.
I have been more partial to the red blends than I have white, but this is
I haven't tried a red one, so let's try a red one next time.
okay.
And it's getting in that season. You know, before we dive into today's topic, do you guys ever do do you do things or have traditional ways of operating given the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so let me take it a step further. As it relates to like libations. Like you would drink things, because when it gets fall, it's nothing like a fall evening fireplace and a glass of red wine.
Yes.
It makes you warm inside.
See, I've been keeping it white for us ladies here, but normally now at this
You
time
would have flipped it to the red.
Oh, I already have. Give me a cab. Give me a cab.
Ooh,
Yes.
and you know what's crazy?
Or a Malbec. Oh my God.
So-
A good Malbec.
Shiraz.
Yes.
I've been drinking my whiskeys, right?
Damn, she went hard.
But normally I would drink my wine at night. I haven't had wine. I'm having wine with you guys. I don't even have a bottle in my house.
Yeah, I think
That's
cocktails,
crazy.
I think cocktails are year-round drinks, right? I don't think
sure.
cocktails are like
In my
seasonal,
house.
right? No, I'm just saying that.
Yeah, for sure.
So mine are definitely more seasonal.
Yeah.
So, you want light and crisp in a
During the summertime,
but
yeah.
and something a little bit more full body, fall and winter.
It's just lovely.
Yeah, it tells you
Fireplace
that's the
crackling.
season.
Yeah.
Music, a little tunes going.
Yeah.
Good.
As you
Slow
saw when you
jams.
came in.
Yeah, some
That
good
would have
slow
been the
jams or
evening.
something,
Yeah.
and just dim light. It's just something
Chill vibes.
sexy, sultry, chill.
Adult,
Yes.
grownish.
Yeah, and you don't even have to be doing it with nobody but yourself.
Nope.
It's just and then a candle,
Yes.
candle.
Had that popping last night.
Oh yes, it's
Lotus
it's a vibe.
Amber.
It's a
Lotus
vibe.
Amber.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
If you
For
haven't
sure.
burnt the Lotus candle, Lotus Amber candle. Ambers, excuse me.
So it's in plain.
Lotus Ambers
Ambers.
candles.
She likes to say Amber's. It's okay.
Yes.
It's like Glorilla when she says
It doesn't matter. Her candles are the bomb.
I love her. I love me some gorilla. Yo, her house right now.
You gotta add the or when she's interviewing with
Yes.
she said you gotta
The fucking that Memphis twang.
Yes, I
it's
love
like
it.
just like people from Baltimore. They
Yeah.
sound a certain way.
Yeah.
She just
And
tried to do the accent.
she got it.
Yeah.
She was close. She very close.
Yeah, but she got that when she go dispute. I'm like it's
in the air. Like it's like an air
Yeah.
on everything she says, but I love it.
I love it, and I love her. Her album is definitely on. Look, the aunties support her right now. We digging that album, right? That hold on.
95 degrees.
Yeah. We loving that. We loving all of it, baby. You better go on, baby. Do
I'm
your
not
thing.
completely hip yet, but
know
I'll
you
catch
not.
up. No.
Catch up, cause
You
that
don't know?
it's a
I know
vibe.
she is. I just
It's
haven't.
90. It's
Five.
what?
Dude, don't get it right now. We'll get it.
No, where the hell's it go?
I gotta hear it. You gonna play it?
It's Friday night.
It's 95 degrees.
I ain't got no nigga. Ain't no nigga. Ain't got me. Hey! You better go on, baby girl. Do your thing.
thing.
Yeah.
We loving it.
Out here
And I
trying
you
it.
just hold on. That's my joint. What? Oh, you just started. Me and my niggas go party. Hey, I know that shit, right? Better go step on Gabriel's garden. Hey, I got bands for the hoes. Bands for the. Yes. Okay. You gotta get with it, baby.
Yes, I will.
I'll play it after. But back to this topic. Things that you should know by the time you're 40.
Behind the times.
There's a lot of things that us women we need to know by the time we're 40 years old.
If you're approaching it and you don't know, we're here to tell you from our personal opinions of what we think you should know by the time you're in your 40s.
Yeah. So I guess I'll kick it off if no one else wants to kick it off. But I'm gonna say you should know what you like and dislike in a partner.
Yes.
You should know.
And for that to happen, you gotta know yourself. So you should know yourself by your 40s.
You should, and not only know yourself, but don't be afraid
To be yourself.
To be yourself, and to also renew and evolve. And learn and do other things. Like you shouldn't be afraid to reinvent yourself.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those definitely by the time you're 40, you should have a good run with that stuff.
Yeah,
You
you know, knowing what you, because you're gonna make mistakes, and but you should have learned from those mistakes.
Yes.
You should be in a space where you're not repeating those same mistakes when you're 40, because now it's all about progressing forward. Been there, done that. What am I gonna do now?
Next. Yeah.
Our personal opinions, because some people in their 40s, they still ain't got it right. And listen, that's okay. That's where you're at. People grow a little bit later, but we're telling you from our personal perspective
Yeah.
what we think you should know by the time you're in your 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally think you should have a signature look. You should know what that is.
Yeah.
And it may change. It may shift and change
Mine's
throughout
have
the
shifted and
years
changed,
as
yeah.
it should.
I feel like I'm figuring it out now, so I'm a little bit late to the game on that. I'm figuring out what my look and style is.
So okay, let me define it a little bit
Okay.
better. What I mean by signature look is just even on like when you come outside, even the way you present yourself, even with makeup or not, or no makeup, whatever. Like you're going out and just going to the store. There's a certain look you should have.
Yeah, hoodie,
So-
sweats, and sneakers.
Okay.
Okay, so that's maybe yours.
Okay, so when I think about that, so my mom, when she left out the house, the one thing that she had to have was her eyebrows had to be filled in, and her red lipstick and earrings.
Red lipstick.
Red lipstick. She called them her lips.
Yeah.
I put my lips on,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it was red lipstick. That was something.
Okay.
And outfit, I guess outfit,
That's
whatever the
different,
outfit
that's
is.
it.
But
But as
those,
long as
That's what I
this
mean
was
by
not-
signature
yeah.
look. So that's what I'm getting at.
Got you.
So I'll even go a step further, and I'm gonna see if you even remember. She probably don't, because she met me. For those of you who don't know, I was a teenager. You know, I was 16.
Yeah.
You know, so but I had a signature look then, and that part of that is because I used to look at magazines, Vogue, and I guess I learned to curate my life or my appearance based on that. You know, what I liked.
Yeah.
And it was less about what other people said. It was more what I liked.
What you liked,
right?
yeah.
What made you feel good when you walked out that door?
Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, even at 16, my lips were red. I don't know if
Okay.
you remember that.
I do.
Every time I was rocking red lipstick, which I very rarely rock right now, but red lips. But it looked good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I learned about MAC and Ruby Woo, that was my shit.
Yeah.
You know, so red lips. And to me, nothing else. I didn't even get into foundations, get into none of that. Red lip, hair done.
Yeah.
That was my look.
Yeah. Okay, so understanding what you mean by that. So I'm similar to my mom. Not necessarily the red lips, but definitely filled in eyebrows, earrings, and mascara.
I didn't really start getting into the makeup until later on in the game.
Same.
I went years without,
Same.
and this is I try to keep it as natural and
Yeah.
light as possible.
Yeah,
I
same.
can't have all that cake.
But there's something to me about having my eyebrows filled in, and if I don't have earrings on, I feel like I'm naked.
Yeah,
Oh, that's okay. I have earrings,
I will never
Gotta
walk
have,
out.
have my earrings.
I had to
on.
walk with my door knockers.
Yeah. So and mascara I made.
Yeah, I didn't do too much of that.
But I will today. Those are my three things that I'm gonna walk out the door. And I can have just some chapstick on. It don't have to be a full lip makeup or whatever. But similar to my mom, like I say, it's the eyebrows and earrings for sure.
And not for nothing, that's what I teach my girls too. Like you needed to, I used to preach that shit. Like you should have a signature look. Like that's something, because it's not just for the folks. And I used to sometimes joke around and say, you know, you got to step outside and and make sure not a joke, but you're a representation of this household.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
number one. But number two, be your best.
Yeah.
Like don't don't let everybody else feel how you feeling inside. They shouldn't have no window into how you feeling inside by the way you look.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you show up for yourself if nothing else. So I used to beat that in, like have your signature, like develop what that's gonna look like for you. I think they're still trying to figure that out, both of them. But they always come out, they step out, but
Yeah.
but I think
my
it's
girls
important
got
by
it.
40.
They got it
you need
before
to.
I did.
Yeah.
I think they got it before I did. Because listen, they ain't going outside
That's right. That's right. And that's what I love that.
Me too. Me too.
And my sneakers and sweats,
That's
is
your
always
thing.
matching. And
That was your
'cause I'm a
thing.
sneakerhead.
That was your thing.
And the other thing
She's
is the
always
nails.
coordinated.
Oh yeah, she
matter
always
what-
had. It don't matter.
No
she had
matter
the
what,
nails.
my nails was always on point. So that was
Always
one thing.
coordinated. Her outfits be.
That's right, coordination. Coordination.
Rest in
I lived
peace.
I lived on the rock. So yes.
That was his thing.
Bang,
Bang, bang, bang.
bang.
Yes.
No, you did coordinate. Nah, I like to live on. I be wearing some weird shit, but I love it. That's just
where I'm
me.
at now.
Your style was very eclectic.
Yeah.
For
which
sure.
I always thought.
Because especially back then.
Yes.
Now you see more women doing it now, but back then,
I'm loving
especially
it,
in the Bronx,
because
you
I'm
see
With
that
the
shit.
blue pumps
I
and
just
the big
I like all that
purse
shit.
or clutch.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I always thought that
it
was
was-
weird, but I see it now. and it
It's just an
actually-
expression.
I never
Yeah.
been matchy,
Yeah.
but I'm even less now. Like trying to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's either gonna
have fun
be
with it.
what do they call that? When all the colors are the same.
Monochromatic.
Monochromatic, or it's gonna be opposite.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love a good juxtaposition of clothing.
Yeah.
So I would say have your signature look. I would also say by the time you're 40, you should learn how to communicate properly and different styles of communication.
Yes.
By the time you should have that
Effective
down.
communication.
Based on who your audience is, you should have a flexible style. Especially if you're trying to get something.
I'm still working on that.
Listen, it's okay.
Like I said, we all grow.
You all grow, you evolve.
So we're not saying these are hard,
These are
fast
hard,
rules, but you should be
At least trying, working towards it.
I
Yeah.
will say this: I know how to turn it off and on when I'm at work. I've gotten a lot better with that.
Yeah.
But I still struggle with toning down my true self to appease other people's feelings.
Well, quickly, probably, would you call that code switching today? That's what it's kind of.
Okay, so some element of what I'm saying, maybe code switching, but just to address what you're saying, to appease the people. I'm not saying appease. I'm saying to adjust the communication style so that whatever you're trying to communicate, it is more digestible and understandable by the recipient. So that ultimately the outcome that you're looking for, you're going to get based on how you deliver it, because they're like, I see what you're saying. It's not to appease them. It's for them to understand you.
Be receptive to what you're saying.
so-
Now, hold on. Now, if you see that they are bucking back and they stand in their ground, sometimes that's different.
Report, yeah.
or report your ass. She don't say that. Fucking Karens. But if you see that, real talk, if you see that they're bucking back, standing their ground, it may be that they understand what you're saying, but they're like, fuck you, I don't care what you're saying.
Exactly.
Or it could be that they don't even want to hear what you're saying, so that they're going to stand their ground. In that case, that's a little different. But at least try to flex those different styles of communication. That's what I'm saying.
So I have a story. It was brought to my attention recently that I had made a comment that made someone upset or I hurt their feelings. So I'm at work and my comment, because of what I was seeing and what we were talking about, I said, look guys, you guys are just making my head hurt with all this paper.
Okay.
Someone took offense to that and was
Crazy
upset
to
by
me,
it
but okay.
and ran into the executive director's office and made a comment about it. Not reporting me anything, just making a comment that I hurt their feelings, because it was almost as if I made them feel like they didn't know what they were doing because they were printing off so much paper. Yes.
I had the same kind of
And I said it in a joking manner. I didn't say
that's how I don't want to understand how that's offensive. But two, we don't know
That
the
was
work
the
environment,
that was-
but it's
yeah.
very strange that somebody took
So
that as
I was
offensive.
told I need to be mindful of my audience and how I say it. And
Okay, so let's go back to it. I remember you telling me when you first got to this place that everything was paper.
yes.
You're not from that era anymore.
No.
You're more digital. So
Yes.
maybe the fact that they are used to being paper, that comment probably came up like, what the hell is she talking about? This is how we've been doing things all along. And it's, again, I'm not defending her. I still feel it's not an offensive comment, but maybe it's because that's the way they've been doing it all along. And by making that comment made them probably feel, to your point, like they said, they felt like they didn't know what they were doing.
But it would have been different if I said it in a serious manner and stuff. We were joking and talking and just going over things. I didn't say anything malicious. I didn't say it,
You know, harsh
the way I said it.
tone,
But
right.
I was like, look, guys, you guys are making my head hurt with all this damn paper. And I laughed behind it, and one of them laughed with me, and then she started laughing. So I just assumed I
Maybe
really
she
didn't
code
think-
switched. Maybe she started laughing because she thought she should laugh because everybody else was laughing. Maybe she
Yeah,
code
but
switched
then
on you.
that's telling me now that
Yeah.
I have to be phony, and that's where I'm struggling with. Why do I have to tone down me to appease other people's feelings? And especially if I'm not coming at you rah-rah
Yeah.
and saying it in a...
I think there's so this is just me being
I know.
analytical. It's deeper than the paper situation
I think so too.
with that person. But something you might have
They
struck
feel
a
threatened.
chord. Yes.
Yeah.
Something you struck in that
There's
person.
an age barrier as well.
And she automatically rendered a decision in her head that she's threatened by you, although she would never admit that in those words. But she already has a preconceived idea about who you are based on whatever she saw. So she's using the paper and anything you say moving forward as a mechanism to. That's not just the fucking
that's
paper.
how I thought when it was brought to my
Yeah.
attention. So
Yeah.
it was just suggested, and so I asked for feedback on how I can approach going forward, because there is an age barrier, and they did say pretty much the same thing, and just be mindful of your comments.
Listen, at this point, all you got to do is, interact with her just based on the job. Hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? Great, love you. Ha ha.
She's
And
a
keep it
support.
moving.
She's a subordinate of hers, so that's a different.
Yeah.
So she works for you.
Yes.
So same thing though. You can just keep it light and fluffy. Hey, how you doing? You don't wanna not engage in with her because then that's gonna be a thing.
But how? I guess so.
I guess
she
I
wants
need
to
to
come in.
build trust with the team.
Build trust with the team.
So you have to engage with her.
Yes, I have to engage. And I don't have a problem because I thought I was getting to a point where we were interacting.
Now that you're
better,
telling me
but-
that she's younger than you.
No,
I'm sorry. She's older than you, but she's reporting to you. That's another layer of it.
That's another layer. So
Right? So she
that's
has a problem with that.
Yeah.
So you just need to kill her with kindness and keep it surface level. Don't get nothing into like sharing nothing about you. Keep it surface level. Be complimentary. Do whatever you need to do to like exude whatever, like do whatever you need to do to make sure she can get the job done, and that's it.
But
It's
what
everything
if-
surface level.
What if she's trying to make them more efficient, get out of this paper game?
Which
So
is
she
what the intent was.
Right. Well, the first
At
thing,
some point.
but the first thing you need to do is they have to have some sort of level of trust within you to know that that's the right guidance.
Exactly.
Right. So you can't just come in like, wow, because
And
then
that's
what's
what I
gonna
was
happen?
told, because
No
I wanna
more
change
paper,
things.
bitches.
Right. No more wire hangers. Right. She's like, no more paper bitches. No, for sure. You can't do it that way because what's gonna happen is. I would only say to do it that way if you got another 4 or 5 people, whoever you got in your team right now, lined up, because they will leave, and then you'll have nobody.
And that's what they
so you need to.
And my whole thing is I don't want her to feel that way because
It's gotta
I
be a
have no
slow
intent.
burn.
She has extensive knowledge that I would never want to get rid of. So
you
I don't want
gotta
this
befriend
Showing her
her.
how to use it
You
differently.
you gotta befriend her. You gotta try to connect with her. But again, I would still keep it surface level because she's still trying to, whatever. But just connect with her and build that trust so that she can have some level of understanding and say, hey, she does know what she's talking about. Because right now she's looking at you like she don't know nothing.
Who she is? She knew he is.
Exactly. So you need to build that, and then so long as she's getting the job done,
Yeah.
Yes,
you know, and that's it.
That's the
She
key.
gets the job
However
done,
she
build the
is right
trust,
now.
and maybe she'll if she's that much older, she might self-select and decide to leave, or
Which I hope that's not the case.
No, so then you have to, just try to connect with her. But right now, she's as you know what? Now that I have more context, you're new there, yeah. So you have to just build the trust.
Yes.
Build the trust.
Which is
First.
what the
So you're
suggestion
gonna.
was.
So we can't make. Now that I have more context, we can't make all these assumptions because our first reaction is more about. It's less about the people, like I said. It's more about she just doesn't trust you. For probably because you're younger, so you have to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about and you have the ability to lead her.
Yes.
And that's that. Now, I would say after 6 months, if she can't get with the program, hopefully you build up enough rapport with your direct manager that if she's not getting with the program, it's like, okay, is she getting the job done? Fine, let's just keep it like that. But if she's not getting the job done, then
There's something
there's
different.
something a little bit different that has to happen. But yeah,
So-
we just totally went off topic.
I think
But it was good. It's good, healthy. It's good, healthy conversation.
Because it talks about people getting
But you need to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got two more, and
Go
then
ahead.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
So the other one that I think that one should be able to do at 40 is know how to travel.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't even have
You
that
need
one on my
to.
list.
I mean, like, I'm not in the market, and I know the dating game is shit. But there's no way if I was in the market, and I hear so often that these women are meeting men that never left the
Country or never even left the town.
or not even left the block. you live in New York and you ain't never been to Manhattan. What's up, son? What's going on? So
That makes no
So-
sense to me, and I know I've met a couple of people like that.
I stay in the
They are
Bronx.
from the Bronx or from
mean,
Manhattan
I
and never been to Brooklyn or Queens.
Nah.
Listen, I only wound up in Manhattan when I started working there. I'm not even gonna lie, when I started working there, I was one of those people. I mean, and again, I'm also a late traveler. I started
So you
traveling
travel
late,
late.
Yes.
and like, so a lot, and I before my 40s, but still late to those
see,
type of things.
That shows me.
Yeah.
So you say you was like you did this when you started working. I was
Yeah,
even
I
in the
was
Bronx.
in
I would
Manhattan.
always go in Manhattan
Only
because I
in
wanted to see
Manhattan.
what
No.
was. I was fascinated by the
No,
shit,
don't
the
even
bright
try.
lights, the big city, the tall buildings.
No.
I wanted to see, and then plus I had family in Brooklyn too, so
Yeah.
I got a glimpse of it driving
Yes.
over.
We were all literally pretty much in the Bronx. Matter of
That's
fact, we lived right across the street from my grandmother.
Yeah,
So like,
wow.
where are we going? All our family is
Nah.
here. Like,
Yeah.
and for my older brother, he left the Bronx when he went to the service in the military.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not coming back. Because then he got exposure, right? So if you don't get exposure, you're not, like, my kids are far more better than me at their age than I was. I literally, everything I did was in the Bronx
That makes-
until I started working in Manhattan and worked in Manhattan. And I would say I probably ended up in Queens by accident 1 or 2 times, and probably in Brooklyn when
Every
I had
chance I
office
got.
space in Brooklyn and I was seeing somebody in Brooklyn. But that's it.
So that makes sense because so all of your, just so I understand, even through like childhood, you like your family, everything was
All
like in
the
close
time.
proximity.
Yeah, I had no reason to go.
So therein lies the
Yeah.
difference, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I did have family at that time when I was really younger in the Bronx, but I had a handful of folks in Brooklyn. But I also have folks down south. So every year we would do like a family reunion down south.
Yeah, nah.
So I guess
never-
that's what drove. I would do the trips and then I had family in California, and then when my sister moved to California,
Yeah.
I ended up going to California. I think I was like 15 years old.
I would
You know what I'm
say
saying?
partly. I would say
Yeah.
partly. The reason why I would say partly because even still, like I said, my kids spent time in Manhattan, and it probably could be because I worked in Manhattan at the time that they started probably coming to Manhattan, and that probably piqued their interest to go down there a little bit more.
Okay.
But at their age, they in the city a lot more than I
Yeah.
ever was at their age.
Wow.
I had brothers who were in Harlem, in Manhattan. I had family, extensive family in Brooklyn, so I always wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And the minute I got to high school, I did not want to go to high school in the Bronx. It had to be Manhattan or Brooklyn.
I went to high school. I
I made
almost went
sure.
to high school in Manhattan, but they didn't because at the time they had to select you. You had to apply to high school.
and I applied
So
to
I
12
didn't get.
schools.
I applied to 2 in Manhattan
Uh-huh.
and 1 way up north in the Bronx. So like you,
Uh-huh.
that was probably me trying to get away.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But
Nah,
because I had to travel. I had to travel when I went to high school. I was
Okay.
liking it. Okay, but it still wound up in the Bronx. But it was
12 schools, 2 of them were in Brooklyn, the 10 of them were, and I made it to all 12.
Yeah.
But the school I chose was at that time what I wanted to do, which
Yeah.
was fashion.
yeah.
So I went to fashion industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was in the heart, all the restaurants,
Yeah,
my job,
yeah.
everything was in
And if you want to go
I
to
mean,
school,
in
that's
Manhattan,
good to go to school
yeah.
in Manhattan for
What?
sure.
And every
Yeah.
so often, because kids who were coming from Brooklyn and Queens to the school, I would go to their house,
Mm-hmm.
which was in Brooklyn and Queens. So
Yeah.
I was always around, and
Yeah.
every chance I got, I was trying to find a way
trying
to
to
stay
explore.
further and further away from the Bronx.
No shade. Don't be shading the
later
Bronx.
and-
Listen,
No, I just
the
want
Bronx
to-
got some good areas. Like,
It does,
okay,
don't
we
get me
Bronx
wrong.
by the time
we Bronx all
every
day.
Exactly.
Bronx all
No,
day.
Never
no, no.
discounts the Bronx, but I mean, yeah, all my family and friends all in the Bronx.
But even so for me, I guess again, I just believe that by the time you're 40, you should have traveled
agree.
Somewhere.
I agree.
somewhere, get
Yeah,
some
I do not.
exposure.
I agree with that 100%.
Because when you travel, you learn things. You get more exposure to different ways of living that you are not. Then you learn that everyone doesn't think the same. Everyone doesn't operate within your own radius.
Yeah.
So you start to learn. Oh wow, this is bigger than just
Yeah.
what I've been
And
exposed to.
but that's in traveling and in work experience. Because
Correct.
I learned a lot
Yes.
in my work
Yes.
experience of different cultures and stuff
Yes.
versus in my immediate surroundings of growing up. But yeah, I travel. I agree 100%. Travel, and I mean, if you meet somebody that ain't never been out the Bronx, you can expose them to something. I'm just saying.
So, but again,
But you don't want to. You saying that this person should have already done the same thing that you should.
Yes.
if I'm talking about, hear me, I want to be clear.
Okay.
If I was in the market,
She's
Yeah.
trying to clean it up.
things you should know, not clean it up. If I was in the market, things you should know about, independent of whether I'm in the market or not, these are things you should know about 40. But if I was in the market, you talking about meeting somebody,
Yeah.
that is a deal breaker for me. If I met somebody right now, my right age, and this new dude ain't never been nowhere, I'm not trying to teach you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I agree with that. Like, because you've lived and you've learned certain things. I'm not
Yes.
trying to.
Now,
I'm not trying to educate.
if I was 10 years younger, maybe I would
maybe.
have that. Oh,
Or
show
y'all
him
at the
something.
same level,
But
almost.
then that's gonna die.
Maybe a little bit same level playing field. Can't be too much off. So maybe
It can't be too much off. I'm not-
You've
just
been
not-
maybe you've been to 10 places and he may have only been to like 6.
But it's something. At least you
But you
know
did
something.
somewhere, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not really trying to show you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be
I'm gonna
at
show
the
you
airport.
this places you never been to because you have traveled, so you know how to travel. So I'm gonna show you this place
But-
you've never been to, but now I'm not.
I don't wanna
I'm
be-
not showing you
I don't
how
wanna
to
be-
travel. Period.
I don't want to be at the airport with dude and they calling gates. He's like, why we ain't going walking up there? It's like, dude, we're not in that fucking. You know what I'm saying? That's not. We D.
don't know the protocol.
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
not trying to
airport.
do that. Why I can't go through security? Take the water out your bag. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm not trying to
You
educate.
can't have 3 carry-ons. It's one.
You know what I'm saying?
two.
Well, I gotta pay. I don't want to sit there arguing with you. Like, I will walk away and go on a trip. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not. And then not for nothing. That's me now. But quite frankly, that's me back then too. I don't.
She talking bullshit. That's been her for
I
So
can't.
now,
Nah.
I've met 2 people recently within the past year. One has, and mind you, this person is 60.
Afraid of planes?
Doesn't look 60, but he's 60. And has never left
Wow.
the 5 boroughs. With family all down south, never went. I just find it extremely
What's the reason?
So went. He's just never, because he's
Never
just
got
always
interested?
working. And he wasn't
they don't-
interested, so that made our conversation short and sweet. That was one. He didn't want to leave, so I said, I was actually willing, because there's places I still haven't been. If I suggested this place, would you go? And he said, no, he doesn't want to leave.
Oh.
He
So
doesn't
he has
want to
no
get on a
desire.
plane. He doesn't have
That's
a
the person who doesn't want to grow.
Sad.
The person who doesn't want to grow.
No, that's facts. And I don't got. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are we talking? Like,
Exactly.
this.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
The other person was willing, but at the same time, he still didn't have his passport. So that kind of made me. The first person put.
Okay, but you don't need a passport to
bad
travel
taste.
everywhere. So that's,
You don't need
that's,
it- you
that's
can-
an excuse. Because you
Yeah.
need a passport to travel everywhere.
You don't need a passport. That's correct. So you can even sometimes go on cruises and not have a
Have that
passport. So you don't
Don't
need
get that
it.
fucking shit.
I think some people.
I say this because of what happened with the first dude, that just left a bad taste in my mouth. So I was just at a point where I know now there's just certain things I don't want to deal with.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to train nobody.
me
I don't want
bougie,
nobody
call me
still
whatever. I don't
drinking
Bullshit.
breast milk.
So that goes to one of my points. One of my points is having boundaries. At 40, you should have certain boundaries. By the time you're 40, you should have certain boundaries and certain things you're not going to tolerate. And if an unwell traveled person is one of your boundaries, that's one of your damn boundaries.
I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want to do. I just
No.
And you know what? Some people may say, "Oh, you think you?" Well, I've experienced certain things. By the time I'm 40, and I didn't come from like, "Oh, you silver spoon in my mouth" and nothing
No,
like that. Like I had to
far
work
from
for
it.
my shit.
Yes.
You know, so for me, it's like I was able to do it. You just need to try. I can't do it. I'm not messing. I'm not doing it. It's not even attractive.
And
then one last thing, and then I want you to do. So one last thing. This might be controversial.
She's got a whole.
But you should. I have more.
I have some of them same things on my list. So
you should know how to make money. I'm sorry. By the time you're 40, you should know how to get that paper.
So mine talked about having a passion or whatever career you choose, being passionate about it. So similar to.
And that's a little different though.
But it means it's a part of making money. So whatever you want to do in life, you're going to be making money doing it. But be passionate and enjoy it. Like.
For sure, and let me just take it 2 steps, because I agree passion, but sometimes your passion shifts. But
that's a part of evolution and growing.
Correct.
But you should have an idea.
You should have an idea what you want to do.
Yeah.
And what I want to take a step further. What I mean by making money is like, especially we in 2024, about to be 2025. By the time this airs, it's gonna probably be 2020. Well,
we don't know.
We're not sure. But in this ripe old age of 2025. If we're here, you should know with the internet, you have a cell phone, if you got, hopefully you do. My point is there's so many different ways to make money.
Absolutely.
Right now that we did not have available to us 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
And not a government issued phone.
Okay. Okay. I'm not even gonna entertain that comment, but so there was this something I watched on the news the other day, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a big news buff because news suppresses me, so I try to stay away from it.
I'm gonna follow her right.
But they had where people that's in their 40s now should be. Like you said, know how to use the internet, know how to use phone, blah, blah. So they have programs for people who are beyond 40, who probably never ever experienced. It's a program. Never experienced a computer, they don't know how to use these things. They're teaching them how to use these things so they can be fully functional adults, whether they're 60, 65, 70, whatever their age is, but because they didn't have the same access to these things that we do now. So to your point, you should know how to use these devices to make money.
For sure. And now that you sparked another thing, like something that frustrates me, and maybe y'all could beat me over the head, but she don't give a shit if you do.
She like Dubai, no she don't.
Right? No, but there are like I got a aunt that's 80 plus, and she be on Facebook. Okay, doing now. She ain't on TikTok or nothing like that, but she on her Facebook and she does her thing. Over 80, right? I got another aunt that's over 70, and she knows Instagram, Facebook, all the different WhatsApp. Like she knows how to. She's also well traveled.
Yes.
So.
But they need to know.
You need to know. So when you are those ages, and there's people on Threads, all these new apps. My point is they're in it. They need to know because this is how we're moving.
And the scammers, they need to know how to deal with
this scam. Oh, that's a big one, so that they don't get the call from Bobby talking about. There was cocaine in your car and all that bullshit.
Exactly.
And say, give me your social. Can you repeat your social security? So they can understand that. Like I never want to be. This is why I'm a big advocate of people adopting technology and not being afraid of it, because I will never be. I do have a conversation, but that's besides the point. I've always been I always loved technology and progressive. Everything. But I don't want to be that 60-year-old, that 70-year-old, that 80-year-old, or even 90-year-old. Like, can you help me write this?
Going to a stranger asking.
I'm not gonna do that.
Asking your kids to help you to. Because listen, I'm a proponent. No paper. Not saying that they can't get you online too, but the more paper you have, the more bills you have coming in your house with your name and account number on it, they're gonna get your ass. So, and I'm not saying they can't do it because they're always one step ahead. But take the measures. So get rid of the paper. If you can do it online, do it online.
Yes.
Listen, I'll take it another step further. Just an example for you. Listen, you get a text from the U.S. Postal Service talking about they couldn't deliver your package. Click this link. Don't click that link.
The
post office is not texting you. I promise you.
Don't click the big link on any text message that you don't know.
Don't click on no link.
Nothing. Put that shit in the spam box.
If you see an email from a company and it's got a Gmail, baby,
that's bullshit.
That ain't the company.
And the big one is when they call you to tell you your utility bill is about to be cut off, you need to send us money. Especially through one of those apps that you send money with.
Don't do it, baby.
Don't do it. Don't click on nothing.
And don't
even speak to them anymore. Hang up the phone.
Those are the electronical ways that the forces try to get you.
Now
but they're getting you because you're getting freaking paper in the goddamn mail.
Yeah.
So stop the shit. All right.
So that was mine. I'm done. But you should know how to make money. Just saying.
Finances, working towards financial goals. I
Yes,
think is good.
absolutely.
So you may not be in a perfect financial position by the time you're 40. I mean, maybe some people are.
Some people
I'm
are.
not saying some, not everybody, but even if you're not working towards those things, some people say you're retirement planning in your 40s.
Listen, I'm not mad. There's a lot of people that G'd off in 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
And I ain't mad at them at all. And some of them were in their 40s and they did retire.
Okay.
So listen, I think if you can do that, wonderful.
Right, wonderful.
But if not, I think there's something
I'm trapped in corporate America, hell.
She said I'm trapped in corporate America, hell.
No, and let me clear that up. Let me clear that up. Let me tell you what I mean by that.
My ass every day.
I've been working in corporate America since I was 19 years old, folks. Context.
Yes.
19 years old.
No, I feel you, man.
I'm not near retirement age.
Nope.
It's a long time.
That's why I just believe that I always say exercise your creative side, but that's me because I like to do that. And even though I like you,
And it takes work. We're not going to tell you that it's easy peasy. It's not. It
it's
takes
not.
work.
It
But
takes
listen,
work. But
it can be lucrative. So
it can be lucrative. So like the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy, like try to figure out ways that you can monetize
generate
those
some revenue
things
off of that.
because that is what's going to keep you going. Because
and you're gonna love it. It's gonna be the passion.
It's gonna be passion.
You're gonna
You're gonna
enjoy
love
it.
it.
You're gonna make
Yeah.
money out of it. Like on a previous podcast, like I said, I mentioned that if I had an opportunity to do something differently
Yep,
in my
sure
career, I would have done something differently that I was more passionate about. I love and appreciate my job. I'm thankful. It pays my bills. And I'm never going to be ungrateful for that because Lord knows you need the dollars, right? But if you do something that you're passionate and you love, the money's going to come.
The money will come.
Yes.
Because you're gonna figure out a way how to monetize it and make that money.
Yes.
And I think so by the time you're 40, for especially for young women and men, I know that you guys are listening and tune in too. I think that take 2 steps back. When my kids graduated from high school, I used to always write personal notes to them. And one of the common thread that I wrote to all of them was, in your 20s, it's time for you to be selfish, and it's time for you to tinker with shit. Fuck around with a lot of mess around, try to do this, try to do that. That don't work, pivot to that. You know, it's okay because this is your time to play around with things to figure out what brings you joy and where you want to pivot. And what I mean by that is not just about making money. I'm talking about in your love life.
Yes.
I'm talking about your whole being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be you,
So you can
independent
figure
of
out who
judgment.
you-
So you
what
can
you
figure
figure
out who
out.
you are.
Yeah.
Figure out what you like.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my personal thing to all of them, right? But so this way, by the time you're 30, you already 20s, you figure that shit out.
You had a good time.
Why you had a good time. Now, so now you're getting a little bit more serious. Maybe you found someone in your 20s, maybe not, whatever. But you're constantly, it's a constant evolution, I think, with every decade.
Yeah.
Because I would also say even things you should know in your 40s, you should still be willing to learn and grow.
Absolutely,
in your
all the
40s,
time.
all the time,
Every
40s
time.
and beyond. Like
Yes.
there's no stopping you from learning. I don't care how old you are.
Well, you said
You should,
that.
yeah.
You said
I'm a
that.
big component. You will learn something new every single day and be open to learning something new.
It's fun. It's exciting, and I don't know. I think, listen, you just gotta. It'll help you be more fulfilled in life. That's just me.
See, we know better now, but I guess us coming up, our lifestyles and how we were raised was different. So I've always been a firm believer in pushing this on my kids, but I didn't have that. I didn't have nobody pushing me and even encouraging me to go to school. I had to build myself up and push myself.
It's a
to go to
generational
college.
thing.
Yeah,
Because I
it
think we
is.
talked about that as well. Like we just took the initiative and did what our parents didn't like say, listen, because they were busy trying to make money to take care of home.
Exactly.
I enrolled myself in school. I graduated high school, Mom, I'm going here. This wasn't like, it wasn't somebody shepherding me along saying, what are you going to do next after high school?
Yeah, I didn't
because
have that.
admittedly, my older brother and I were the first high school graduate families. I mean, actually going through the whole thing out of our family. A lot of them went back I would say as a result of us finishing through. And they went back and they've got, degrees that some of us haven't even finished high school haven't gotten. So I think it's a generational thing, it's a cultural thing, it's where you were raised at all the time and stuff like that. So I think
Like I'm the
all that plays
only
into
college
it.
graduate.
So it's a little bit different for me.
Yeah.
I think that within my family, it was there's an expectation that she was going to college. My father he's a college graduate. I have aunts that are college graduate. My grandparents no, but they also were entrepreneurs. So on my father's side, and then on my mother's side, again, they were just hard workers. So and my mom went to school as well. She went to college as well. So I think there was a certain expectations. I had examples, so there was expectations. Now, when it came down to the college process, because I was in a very dysfunctional home, wasn't nobody hand-holding shit. I just did it.
You did it.
But there was no, like, the way I shepherded and helped my kids, there was none of that shit. It was like, where you going to college,
And I think we all have that same experience. And
it was a little
went through that
dysfunctional.
process of navigating college
by yourself
and choosing. We helped them. We had nobody to help.
No, we had nobody to help us. So it's a little bit different in that sense. But I don't know. I think we just grew up in to your point, a different era of that. Yeah. What else you have on your list?
Personal growth, we talked about that, mindfulness, lifelong learning, continuing to learn and grow, self-compassion, be kind to yourself more importantly, avoid criticism, stuff like that. So
You said avoid criticism?
Avoid self-criticism, sorry. Be kind to yourself and avoid self-criticism. So
give yourself grace.
Give yourself grace. So just because you're 40 doesn't mean you have to have all of these things in place. But you should just keep working towards it. As long as you're continuously putting in the effort, it's going to happen. So a lot of the things that we talked about may not all happen at 40. It can happen at 42, 43, whatever.
It can happen earlier.
It can happen, and it can happen earlier. So it's just the point is just to keep working towards that. Be open enough to say, okay, these are the things that I strive for, and I'm going to continue to work, and just make those plans and keep working towards it. So.
What about you?
You pretty much just nailed everything in the head for me.
Okay.
I mean, I just wish I would have known more.
I have one on the list that we didn't talk about, and we're going to talk about this probably on a later topic, but forgiveness, like letting go of resentment and embrace forgiveness. So many people walk around and not knowing how to forgive and don't know the value of forgiveness. And I don't want to talk about this because I know we're going to talk about it in
another
topic.
podcast.
But I think it's important to not hold on to things that's going to hold you back in your 40s. And that can be forgiveness, that can be other things. Not just forgiveness, whatever is holding you back, release it so you can move
I like
forward.
that better.
Yeah.
I realize that now.
But that's as you're older now, right? So
I like the releasing. I do struggle with forgiveness, and I know that people say, and especially when I was really heavily going into church, and it talked a lot about forgiveness, and I struggled with that. Because I don't know if it's just my nature. It's like I can't forget. Now they say you could forgive, but you'll never forget. But it's like when I remember,
makes you angry again.
I mean, how does that work? You know what I mean? It's like when I remember, because fucking angry, so that means I didn't really forgive you. I'm fucking angry. I'm still mad.
Yeah, if it's
you know what I'm saying?
If it still evokes that emotion in you, then maybe you haven't really forgiven.
No.
So I think forgiving and never forgetting is important because the never forgetting part allows you not to put yourself in that position again. That's the not forgetting part. That's seeing the red flags sooner rather than later, because a lot of times the things that you experience and working towards forgiving is you didn't see certain signs, and now you can remember the things that led up to this thing that made you so angry and that you're struggling to forgive. Like, I'm not going to deal with that again. I'm not going to put myself in that position again. I'm going to see the signs hopefully earlier because you didn't forget what happened or how you got there.
For sure.
But you may not do that in your 40s. Now that we're going to sit here and talk about this, it took me a long time for childhood trauma for me to actually forgive now.
It's a process. It's not easy.
And it's not easy.
So you know what? Because this is a heavy topic. We love y'all for tuning in. Y'all the best.
We're gonna continue this forgiveness conversation.
We're gonna continue this forgiveness conversation. Tune in. It's very important. As you can see, I'm be tussling with it.
She ready.
I'll be tussling with it. So tune in. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for your subscribes, your likes. I see your shares. I appreciate all the shares. And really, I hope you get something from this. And
continue to elevate and grow, 40 and beyond.
Yes.
Cheers.